Talk to us, about your childhood in terms of your roots.
Someone told me even if your thoughts are corrupted, it is still a karma for you. And that just got stuck into my head. The real life exists where there are challenges, there are people who are suffering with n number of things, and still they are happy.
What is it that truly makes you happy?
Every person should have value for their words. And this is translated to a different psychology that you should give value to your thoughts.
True, very true.
You see a lot of people eh, going for divorces just after being married for maybe 6 months.
Is this something that you had planned for yourself 10 years or 15 years back? Does it have the potential, or is it already doing so, wherein it's making human beings lazy?
They are just enjoying their lives. They are not seeing the dark side that is coming up. The other dark side to it is definitely crime, cyber crime is going to be more because again they will also have access to AI. Again, AI has to be a catalyst in your life that you skill up and do big things because this is a new life that we are all seeing and it's a new era.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Real Verses with Saugat. My guest today on verse 2 is someone who exists at an extremely interesting intersection of code and creativity, of self learning, and machine learning. Someone who's a tech geek, someone who's an AI disruptor, someone who's creating amazing waves in the field of beauty, and someone who understands what it feels like to create something that works good, feels good, and works even more, and just is something that everyone can use brilliantly. Let's meet Abhit Sinha, co-founder and CTO at ORBO.ai. Hi, Abhit. Let's get started. So, first of all, thank you so much. While I've already introduced you, but I think I must thank you once again for being here and for taking time out. Wonderful to actually have you here. I really hope that we're going to have a great conversation. And I think to begin with, I have a bit of a not a googly, but possibly a slightly unique question. Something that I suppose a lot of people don't always ask me either, right? So, if I were to ask you to introduce yourself to me, to everyone watching, without talking about your titles, about where you come from, about your nationality, ethnicity, and your material accomplishments, basically all the societal and superficial markers that we normally use to describe ourselves. What would you say about you? What is the essence of Abhit Sinha?
Swagat, thanks for having me here. And it's really exciting that we'll be having a great session together. Coming to yes, the society brings a lot of tags to us, and we get defined because of that. But yeah, if I just keep things aside and define myself, then probably I'll more relate to the word human. That's I think that's at the core of my heart that uh, anything that I do, anyone I meet, how do I react in a way that it becomes very natural. And
Right.
that the thing that comes to me is that I need to be a human at the very basic level,
At the very core.
at the very
Absolutely.
core,
Absolutely.
because everything is superficial, as you said. All the titles, all the bells and whistles of life, you cannot guarantee when it will come, when it will go. It's not in our control. How much we just crave for it or maybe boast it that we have something, but it's not in your hand. What is in your hand is that who you are.
True.
That's the only thing that is with you. We are not certain what will happen the next second. Then how do we
Absolutely.
guarantee on materialistic things?
And absolutely, I think, and as recent events have shown, right, especially this year, the lesser talk we talk about it, the better. But I think yes, you're right. I think it's at the core, a human. Yes, wonderful. I mean, I think that's something that all of us can actually do very well to remember, more often than not, right? Great. I think this is a fantastic start, Abhit. Was there was there an adult moment? So talk to us, about your childhood in terms of your roots, right? I think that's what I think I always try to understand about anybody who I'm talking to, in terms of what are your roots, right? So let's get there.
So yeah, things got started definitely when I came into this world. I was born in a defense family. My father is an ex-defense officer right now. Um, been roaming around the country because of his profession, and it was a great journey back then in my childhood. So been to Tamil Nadu, Mumbai, Goa, and all the south coast because back then he was sailing the navy.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he was in the ship with the Indian defense, and it was a thing that because he used to go for sailing for some kind of a mission or XYZ tasks. So yeah, few days he was off of home, then he was coming back. But yeah, it was nice. But because of that, what happened is that I have studied in almost 7 schools. So that was one of the interesting things. So when we friends out there meet each other and have chit chat, or maybe I'm meeting someone else, so it becomes one of the topic that okay, you are from which school? So I'm from seven. Which one? Which one should I pick up next?
So does that mean that you have a lot of friends as well? I mean, compared to maybe some other people?
Difficult to say for that because when you have shifted very frequently, then the friendship does not last for long.
True. True.
And it's totally a different state, totally a different city. And in the childhood, as you must be knowing, there was no Facebook or WhatsApp or even phone numbers that were the children would actually have, no mobile phones for that matter. So there's no connection with them, and probably no, that's not the reality that I have many friends from back then. But yeah, it has been interesting on that part. When I grew up to fifth, probably then we got settled in Delhi NCR region. I was in Vikaspuri, but things changed this time. So yes, this is one of the things that I was kind of a simple child. I would say not that into khurafati by nature by any means.
So you were like the good boy,
The good
the
boy,
nerd.
the good boy nerd kind of thing. Because of that, I could face a lot of bully on my ground because my friends, my schoolmates used to bully me a lot. This guy is someone, okay, you need to have fun, okay, this is the guy. Again, the same thing came to my mind. There was a psychological concept that came into my mind that whatever I do will be reflected to me at some point of in time.
Right.
And someone told me, even if your thoughts are corrupted, it is still a karma for you. And that just got stuck into my head. So I said, okay, maybe I should be good, still fairly enough. Till the time I'm not being pushed too far that I'm being hurt to a next level. Let's be a human. Let's take it all. Let's be the nice person, as we say. So that's been the childhood in general. Then I got to college again in NCR. Did my BTech, did my MTech, but this was a different phase. No one could bully me in the school, in the college.
Was it because you changed something in your personality, or you just decided that, oh, you know what, I have had enough of bullying. I'm not going to take it anymore.
Maybe I think when people,
I mean, were you different as people?
I did not change myself, to be very honest. I think the group I got into was a kind of group that synchronized with me.
Right.
They resonated and echoed with me very well and kind of appreciated that. At the same time, I used to be a person that was the bad side, I would say, but I was too materialistic.
Really?
Yes, yes, yes. I was too materialistic in the things. I had big dreams. Uh, I used to get in my head that okay, someone is having so much of luxury, that person has so much of this and that, and not in a bad sense, not
Of
in a,
course,
as
of
a
course
in a
not.
jealousy, but in a sense that I was so appreciating everyone that it was kind of having a knack in the head that okay, I need to give up in the get up in the race because I don't have this, and that's the point where things actually go to the wrong side.
Right.
Being
Right.
appreciating
Right.
things is the good
Absolutely.
part.
Appreciating the finer things in life versus making that your ultimate core value, that then possibly drives you in all possible directions, right? So I
Correct,
think yes,
correct,
I
correct,
understand
correct.
where you're coming from.
And again, I've been lucky enough to have good friends. They just brought me back to where the reality was. Let's, dude, this is not the real life. The real life exists where there are challenges. There are people who are suffering with n number of things, and still they are happy. And that's what again struck my head. That okay, these things do not bring value to your life. It is not important that if I buy a Mercedes Benz I'll be happy. It is not true. So I have lived a life after that, and this has become a very big reality. I think you will also just agree to it, that these things
No,
do not bring
completely. I mean,
global happiness.
no, they don't actually. Abhit, and like you're saying, I think there was this time, and not too long back, right? About 3 4 years back, I wanted to. I really, I think that was. I had seen this at the home of one of my very close friends. He had a few of them, in fact, those Apple HomePods, right? The speakers. While I really like music and I really like good sound, I think I was desperate to get one of these for myself, or at least, I mean, a pair to begin with. But then I settled for one. But then even I remember that the day it got delivered to me, after that, I think it kind of lost its charm to quite an extent. Of course, it gave great sound, right? I still have it with me and I have an amazing time. But I know what you're saying. I think, beyond a point, these things stop making sense.
Correct, correct. It just makes no sense when it we actually say that if we get this thing, we'll get a different value proposition, and that's where the human psychology actually changes. There's a myth, and there's the brain actually plays with you, that if you get this you'll get happiness, if you get this you'll get satisfaction. It does not happen. Then things come up in life, that why does this happen. So I am too much into all these things. I think a lot, why is it so complicated, how do we resolve these things. There's so much complexity. Everyone has a different start point, and
True.
everyone is actually looking at the same point where they want to reach, but is it the right direction they are going into? And if it is the right direction, why are they still not happier than
Right.
they were earlier?
Absolute.
So I think the basic metric of living any life, for that matter, you be an engineer, doctor, an artist, a musician, or anything of that matter, you need to find the core. What will give you happiness?
True.
It is not
Absolutely.
money. It is not fame. It is not the glamour of the world. Maybe it is for someone, but it is not true for everyone.
I mean, I think Abhit, you're absolutely right. I do know people who are kind of celebrities. Well, not kind of; they are actually celebrities. A few musicians, and no, but musicians, I think they still live a very different life. They live a very, I feel that a very fulfilling life.
Yes.
Uh, I would actually, I think even as a child, and I'm sure that since you follow music, right? So I would look at all these musicians performing, or in a Coke studio, or maybe an MTV Unplugged, or a lot of other music related programs on television, on the internet, and every single person in that setup would have a very genuine smile. So
Yes.
one is that you're smiling for the camera, right? The other one is where you are genuinely
Correct.
smiling, and you
Correct.
seem like you're enjoying what you're doing. I think that's one group of people that I've actually been able to relate this with, right? So have you been able to figure out yet what is it that truly makes you happy?
Yes, yes. For two, I think it's a journey that we all understand this, and it will be changing every day. I'll give you a very basic example. As you said, you bought a home pod, and then it gave you happiness for some time, and then it's just okay. It's a good product.
Couple of days, yeah.
Couple of days. Everyone buys a new phone maybe every 2 years or 4 years, and then they're very happy. They take so much care of it, that okay, this I'll just put a screener just after the purchase. I'll go get a good case, and I'll keep it very slowly into the pocket on the bed. XYZ. They take all precautions, and just after 10 days or maybe a month, it's like they are throwing it on the bed. Oh, it's normal phone. And when you just take it 2 years down the line, it's one of the worst phones. Come on, yeah, it's not even working. It's yeah, it works well, but the glimpse is not.
Now I want something else.
I want something else. the material has not changed. My point is the material did not change.
True.
It's
True.
still an apple. It still works. It still gives what was promised. And you were very happy when you bought it. What happened now?
True.
So nothing has changed. It's just the perception of you has changed. And you are changing your perception of happiness. It gave you happiness. Why is it not giving you now? Because your brain is actually changing minds. It's making a puzzle that what next. But that's not how we should think about it. We should have the happiness. This is a great phone, but I think I want a different one this time. Now that's just a perspective change.
True.
So giving value to things that you have actually valued earlier becomes one of the very important points. And that brings me to the point that every person should have value for their words. And this is translated to a different psychology, that you should give value to your thoughts.
True. Very true.
And when you have given value to your thoughts, maybe 2 years down the line, buying an Apple iPhone or a HomePod or XYZ or anything, or a Mercedes Benz for that matter. Even I've seen people who have bought Mercedes Benz and after 2 years or maybe 1 year, yeah, it's a normal car. It happens. And a person who has bought a Maruti 800, they used to just sleep in the night that this is the car that I have bought, boss. This is the first car. So I've heard two people saying me all these stories. And when the same person who has bought the 800 now driving a Mercedes S Class or a 7 Series, they say, yeah, just bought it and it's outside. So the charm has changed. But the charm has to stick to it. You have to give value to things and give value to your thought. Stay stick to your thoughts. Yes, technology will be changing, something next will be coming up. You will probably like the next one, but don't leave the value behind, because when you have that kind of psychology, that will be reflected in your work, in your family, in your relationships. You see a lot of people going for divorces just after being married for maybe 6 months. Why? Same psychology. So I think what I have figured out is that we don't give value to our words and thought.
True, true, absolutely. Very, very well said. I think you're already giving me so many things to think about, Abhit, and in fact to all those who are watching us as well. Was there something, or was there someone who helped you to understand what being grounded meant? Was that something that happened to you early in your life, or is that something that you picked up along the way?
Grounded, I would I don't know if grounded is the word that suits me or not, but it's kind of a thought process. I think that I say that if, again, some things just struck my mind. Nothing is permanent. I've seen people going from zero to hero in no time, and the other way, in the same place,
Absolutely.
in this world itself, in this short span of time. So everything is possible. And when everything is possible, then you need to stick down to things that are certain. If something is not certain, then how can you just make a pillar on top of it? So that's the core point. I think I understood early in my life, and I aspire for very big things. It's not that I don't aspire. I don't want. I have no materialistic things that I have in my head. I have it, but it's more of an inspiration to me. It's more of a milestone, or maybe a more of a thing that will step up my thing in a different aspect. It's not that I'm not happy. I need to be happy. I say everyone who is living a life at any stage is the luckiest one, because there is someone who is actually dreaming to have that kind of a position. You just see the aspect to it. Someone actually riding a bicycle is thinking, I have to just put out sweat, go to the office, maybe do some kind of a labor or a mechanic job, and then come back home and then sleep and then go back. Think of a person who is not having a job, who cannot afford a cycle, who has to go on the legs. He's living a dream of having a job and the status that person has. Then, if he gets it, he's just thinking at the night, oh wow, yeah, if I had a cycle and a job in a mechanic shop, that would be great for me, my family, XYZ. And the same person having the same status is thinking, what a life, man. It's so boring. And this is the chain. So everyone needs to understand at any point of time that you are the lucky one. And believe me, when you believe that you are lucky, the energy around you will actually support you to go to the next level, and you will enjoy it even more.
Enjoy the ride, yeah.
And it's not that you achieve it or not, it's the journey you relish.
Of course, absolutely, absolutely, Abhi. I mean, it's such an unpredictable journey, right? You just don't know what turns and twists await you. I think every single day. I mean, we just take so many things for granted in our lives. I think almost everything,
Everything.
right? I mean, anything and everything. I mean, nowadays I actually think about it. When I'm telling my wife or I'm telling my mother that what, I'm going to do this next week, and I'm thinking, will I have a next week? How do I know? How
Yes.
can I be certain that I'm going to have a next week?
Correct.
Absolutely, absolutely true. So, what you're doing right now, Abhit? I mean, as a again, I think how you sound right now, and the profession that you have chosen for yourself as a co-founder of a startup that deals in artificial intelligence and beauty. I think are very very unique personas or entities in their own right. Was there a point of time in your life when you realized that this was that you wanted to get here? Is this where you are, or where you are today? Is this something that you had planned for yourself 10 years or 15 years back?
Uh, a yes and a no,
Okay.
both. So I am related to, basically, I'll just strip down it to the very low level and then go higher up.
Sure.
So I've been a passionate about photography. I loved clicking pictures, editing them in my school time, college time. And then somehow I figured out that I can do an MTech in signal processing. And signal processing gives me a way to play with engineering in images,
Right.
videos, and all those things. And again, there's a very good correlation. I think AI has helped me, or maybe it's my intellect that has gone into AI, or there's a synergy of that way. So, in my MTech itself, professors used to come from DRDO and various good organizations. And back then, AI was not the buzzword.
Right.
It was just like a new tech, and no one knew about it. And it was the hard way. Okay, should I even enter into it, because I don't know if it will bloom, how many jobs are there. But there's again a thought process that I very much believe in. The water flows in a way, there's an hindrance, it will change the way, and then again come back. So I kind of relate with water very much. I say, if I keep with the hindrance, I think I'll just stop there.
Right.
Let's go with the flow. Now, when AI came into the play, well, just done. No worries. I'll see how it flows out. I studied AI. And then what I found was, okay, the psychology and the mental way of thinking that I have relates too much on a very different level with the technology of AI. The mathematics behind it, the concepts behind it, it's too much related. And AI is one part, imaging again the next part. So yeah, definitely I liked imaging, it came on the ground. I liked this kind of a thought process, it again came on the ground. And because I think so much into these things, I understand artificial intelligence is nothing but how do you map the brain in the computer programming. Now, when I know how the brain functions, I know how the artificial intelligence would actually function. So I know how to train it. Right. In a different way. Right. Than a human, so that it can perform things in a very efficient way, and maybe a better way than the human can think.
Right.
Because when humans it's themselves are not clear of what needs to be done, definitely there's something that needs to be sure that this is the right, this is wrong. So yeah, that way my interest actually brought me into imaging AI. And when I came into the industry, again, I faced it that there were no jobs back then. It was very limited to few companies who were really into, okay, we need to do something. This is the next tech. Okay. I survived with it. And luckily, AI came into existence as a buzzword. So yeah, I came along by interest. So yes, I wanted to have something that I wanted to do, because passion is something is it's totally into me. I need to do something which I want to do. It's not that you want to do something that, okay, I have no interest but I'm doing something. Okay, I need to run the life. I'm doing something because I wanted to do, and luckily things went that way. And the third thing, the concept I had in mind got validated. go with the flow as water, and I think things would actually come around in the positive way, and
Right,
it
right.
came around.
Wonderful. In one line, can you just tell me? I'm a complete layman, and I was very interested to understand this when I even went through your profile. What is signal processing, Abhit?
So signal processing, um, for example, if we are talking, so this mic is actually picking up our voice,
Right,
and converting it into a signal going through the wire.
right,
So this is a signal. Now
right,
this signal is actually being captured by the computer
right,
in few numbers. Now how do you make the voice bolder, thinner, maybe sound like Amitabh Bachchan, maybe sound like a different person altogether? This technology that works with this kind of a signal is called signal processing.
right.
For example, this camera is actually capturing me, and I change my face into someone really different, or maybe remove my beard from here. So this is a signal that the camera is capturing, converting it into digital numbers in the computer, and then I'm changing those numbers in a very precise way where I don't see any beard on my face. So that's kind of a signal processing.
So, in which case, basically, what you're referring to is anything and everything around us which is matter, either in the form of sound or light or I think anything
Yes.
that gets processed, right? And that is how you got into artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. So was engineering something that you chose when you were studying, say, when it was time for you? I think after 10th is when you're supposed to choose between either science or humanities or commerce, right? I think during those days or
Yeah.
even now, I suppose. So was that something that you chose in terms of engineering is something that I want to pursue?
Yes, that was very certain. And that was, I think, not even 10th. I was very certain since, I think, 7th or 8th. That was very certain. And this is the line of things I relate to. So I was good at maths.
Hmm.
I was good at finding logic behind things. In fact, I had few theories in my 10th and 11th, which I actually, when I think back, I'm like, okay, how could I even think those concepts back then? So kind of, I was always inclined about towards research, why things are happening, why not things are changing, why things are changing. So all those questions, these are all engineering questions, and in the physical domain, physics, chemistry, mechanics, electrical. And I used to, in fact, if I just go back, I used to play a lot with electrical kits that used to come in the childhood.
Right.
That was, I think, fourth, fifth, sixth kind of. And I was so much into it. Why electricity is moving? How is it moving? If I put two wires, will it glow more? It will not glow. And how do I integrate the battery? Why this side? Why that side? So that was the kind of thought process I was having since the childhood. So that was very clear. No, engineering is the route to go.
Great, 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 wonderful. So all of these other passions that I'm sure that these are not new developments, right? Your love towards music or towards automobiles or photography. I'm sure that you kind of you must have figured this when you were growing up, right? I think once we
Since the
start,
childhood,
right.
yeah.
So did they? How have they helped shape you and helped you keep your focus on what you want to do as a profession? I think there's one more thing that I would like to ask, but yes, I mean, first let's get into this. So while growing up, all these other passions that you had, how did they help you in the overall realization of what you're doing now?
As I was into signal processing, engineering side, AI of those times, I used to play a lot with. So I am an audiophile by interest, by hobby. So I used to see how speakers are sounding. And again, this is one of the things again into electronics. I did my BTech in electronics, and that those were the times. How does the amplifier work? Why is it not having the dynamic range? Why is the speaker having a different kind of response? I used to play a lot with them. So what happened is that these interests actually came a long way with me,
Right,
in always, in the sense that the speakers actually have sound. Now those sound are actually signals,
right.
and those signals I used to program. I did program. I started programming, I think, in ninth,
Mm-hmm.
in C, C++. So I got just that kind of interest in 11th, 12th, and engineering first year. I used to just decode Dolby digital signals in my code and then have a different kind of response. In fact, I decoded a different kind of theater logic via the frequency response. Now, back then, my friends would actually not relate to it altogether. "Hey, what is this? And why are you doing it?" It was purely interest. There was no commercial gain I was looking for. There was nothing of that sort. Any project that I need to submit, I was doing just for fun because I had fun. And believe me on this, I just forgot to have my water, my meals, or anything just because I need to do what next? What next? What can be done in imaging? Okay, playing with something. What next I can do with some audio signal? What can be done in music? So again, music has been a way of meditation for me, I would say. It's being all along. I can hear music all day. It's been a part of life. I need the next level. What is the precision? Okay, music has two ways to be analyzed. One is okay, who is the singer? You're enjoying the melody, you're enjoying the words, and making sense with various aspects.
Right,
The
right.
other aspect is why is he sounding so bold? Why the treble is so low? Is the speaker response not good? Is the recording not good? What was the mic being used? How was the recording being made and mastered? And XYZ, how close the recording was being done, it was so far, not so far,
So
XY,
all the dynamics of
all the dynamics into photography and all these things. So they have actually helped me a lot coming through the path I have chosen. And as I always had this mind, you don't attach the fruits which you actually have as a hobby. So these were all hobbies. I did not attach anything. I love singing. I love hearing music. I have nothing. I'll become a singer? Maybe not. But I love singing on my own, maybe listening music on my own. I love photography. Do I need to become a photographer by profession? Maybe not. But because I just feel good, okay, I've captured something. How can I make it better?
awesome, awesome. So was there no point of time, Abhit, when you seriously thought about converting any of these hobbies or passions that you have into a full blown career?
I think I was more into problem solving. So basically, every aspect that I actually explained, it was more into creativity. So I could have chosen any line, but the thing is that I chose a line with the least resistance and giving me the complete flavor of everything.
Right.
Now, if I go into music, definitely it's not an easy route. Being a musician in the country or anywhere in the world is one of the, because any creative thing, it is one of the toughest route to go. Definitely gives you the biggest fame, the biggest earnings, but it is not easy. It is one of the toughest one. And when I go that way, I need to replace my other things. For example, if my interest is in electronics, if my interest is in thought process, problem solving, that will not come along with music. Photography, yes, that can be a side hobby. When I become a photographer, I can sing songs, definitely. But again, the electronics, the problem solving technique, and all those extra research that I actually want to hear and I want to present or maybe do something of my own, that is again compromised. But this route, when I choose this engineering route as my basic thing, I can still have fun with photography, I can still have fun with music, and at the same time, the basic core that I have, what is the issue? Since my childhood, why this is happening, why not this is happening, and how do we solve it? So think this was the best route I think where I could gain the maximum interest.
Super awesome. Great, great. So, Abhit, I think let's move a little bit towards what you're doing now. I think before we get there, right, I have possibly a very curious question in my mind. I think I'm someone who's very full of curiosity always. So, when do you think man started envisioning something like artificial intelligence? What may have been the very core need to think on those lines? I mean, I think as human beings, we have been doing well, right, in every field. And I'm sure during your education, or maybe over the past so many years, you must have also come across this question either in your mind or through someone else. Why did we ever think about artificial intelligence to become such an integral part of our lives? What was the need?
So this is a equational problem. I'll tell you. So in school, everyone has actually learned an equation: y is equal to mx plus c.
Right.
So it's the equation of a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes a different concept of a curve.
Right.
Then you make a curve. Then it becomes a parabola. Then the equation becomes x cube, x4, x5, x6. Okay. So what's the end to it? And how does it solve anything for us? It's just an equation. So human lives or any aspect. So you must be just wondering, AI is common for imaging, audio, text, or anything of that matter. Because all that boils down is to these simple equations.
Right.
Okay. So artificial intelligence is actually having various neurons as we have in the brain. And it's the equation of the straight line which is embedded in every neuron.
Got it.
Y is equal to mx plus c.
Right.
That's the basic thing. Now, if I say there is a line and one line is actually talking to the other line, I'm trying to summarize it in a very layman language so that everyone can actually understand. So, there is a line, and that's a neuron that is talking to a different line, that is again a neuron. Then these two actually multiply. They are talking, so actually they multiply. Now, y is equal to mx plus c multiplies y with y is equal to mx plus c becomes a x square equation. Okay. Now, an
Right.
x square equation can handle two kinds of problem at the
Right.
same time because it now follows a curve. At the same time, then we realized the equations that are in real life, it cannot be solved by one a single line or maybe a square or maybe many such powers. So what do we do? So we defined that okay, if we have a set of many lines like these and they can just contribute to each other in various aspects, then they can actually think, because these are possibilities being fed into it.
Right.
There are many possibilities. When you say there is a scribble, every scribble has an equation.
Right.
So every squibble of a line is an equation. So these there is a number of possibilities that can happen at x is equal to 5, x is equal to 6, x is equal to 7. But when I say y is equal to mx plus c, there is only one possibility. If x is something, y has to be certainly one thing.
Got it.
How do we break this thing? That was the point where we found that multiple neurons in a particular fashion can actually create multiple possibilities, because the real life has multiple possibilities. So we can actually use this technology or mathematical network to solve real life problems. So that's how AI
Amazing.
came into existence.
So, Abhit, what do you see AI, or how big a role do you think artificial intelligence is going to play in our lives per se, right? So, everything, I think I keep reading about smart cities being built. I keep reading about, how AI is going to come and transform the entire corporate world. I think it's already doing that in one way or another. People are talking about jobs being, or human beings being replaced in some way. Um, what do you think is the future in terms of, say, let's talk about 10, 20, and 30 years? I mean, say our lifetimes, right?
Yeah.
If, assuming that there is a lifetime and we are, going
Fortunate
by
enough.
the law of probability, we are expected to live a certain number of years. What do you see AI doing, or how big a role do you see it playing in our lives, and in what way?
It is going to change a lot. This is a lifestyle change that we are actually entering into. If you remember the age of 2000, mobile phone was just born, maybe in the 95 to 2000. And 2000 was the year which marked the placement that everyone was actually having a mobile phone. Maybe not everyone, but every house had a mobile phone,
Right.
for that matter. Those mobile phones have changed the whole economics, the whole industry. Let it be pharma, agri, let it be any commercial, TV industry, or any. And you can actually see it. The last 20-25 years has changed everything. That was a point in time which formed a lifestyle change. The second lifestyle change we are seeing this time,
Right.
it is going to change again how businesses are talking to each other, how people are going to interact with each other. Maybe the concept of UI that we all see in the websites and all mobile phones may get eradicated completely.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe there would be no UI 20 years down the line or 10 years down the line.
Right.
That's the next way, because we need to make things simpler.
Right. How do you think AI is going to replace UI? I mean, in what way?
So you just speak, you get the right response. How people used to do in earlier times.
Right.
They used to maybe go to a bank, I have this issue and please resolve it. I have this money, please submit it. I need to draw a check, please give me the check. This was the basic human interaction. People did not use any UI for that.
Right.
That era may again come in with a sense of convenience. They will always have a AI with them, maybe embedded in their skin itself. Who knows? But definitely in a glass like this, or maybe in a watch like this, or maybe just a dongle on your on your sleeves or anything of that matter. And that will be talking to you in a real time manner and giving you full confidence that UI can be eliminated, because earlier UI did not play any role. UI came into existence when technology evolved and you need to check things to do it. So automation actually came in 2000 to 2025. This is the time when automation skills up to replace the automation and the human intervention.
So, Abhit, I do have another question here. I think we've all seen the advent and the rise of ChatGPT and of Copilot and of Google Gemini, and maybe I'm sure there's this Chinese DeepSeek as well, and I'm sure there are so many more out there in the market. My initial guess was, has is it does it have the potential, or is it already doing so? Where it's wherein it's making human beings lazy, right? So now instead of typing an email, what you are doing is you're just giving a prompt to ChatGPT and it's typing a beautifully written, absolutely grammatically correct, very articulate piece of literature that you are able to share with either internally with your friends, with your colleagues, with your teams, to the external world. Now, I'm sure that that must not have been the reason why AI was invented, right, in the first place. How do you see the evolution, or is there a larger plan that you think in terms of if Abhit, if your life, right? If there are 10 things in routine tasks that you do in a day, if those 10 tasks can get automated or taken over by AI, do you think you are going to be able to use your time or utilize it in a better way somewhere else? I mean, is that, I'm assuming that that must be the idea.
You are just on the right track. So AI is actually changing everything for that matter, and people are actually using Chat GPTs of the world for all these tasks.
Right.
You are again correct with this point that it is making them lazy, because this is we are at a point where things will actually go towards a different route, and people are still having the inertia of the previous life.
Right.
So this they are just seeing that okay, this is making my life easy. They are not realizing that they need to skill up in a different way, because this is all being automated. If you don't skill up in a different way, then you will become redundant. Either skill up in a different way or try using the same thing for giving a 10 times better output. If you have a helper for framing out, for example, a novel for yourself, then probably make it the next level that you can actually win something really big in the world. You'll have a big name in the world that this is the person. What kind of literature is this? Never heard of it. It has to be that level. If you're doing a simple thing that you are just writing a letter and it's the same thing that everyone other is actually doing, you're not doing something intelligent. You do it if that's the redundant thing for you, but then use that time to skill yourself up in a different way where AI will actually be a helper and you are creating something 10x, 100x, or 1000x that is being made earlier by humans. We have to see it that way. Redundant work has to be replaced, but there are things that were not achievable earlier. You need to have big milestones now. You have to raise up the bar, because everything is easy for everyone now. So how do you
True.
gauge with everyone?
Hmm. Very interesting, Abhit. So the prospect, again, considering this is your core profession, right? So while I'm sure that you're absolutely excited, gung-ho about what AI is going to do, and obviously, in terms of you're already practically using it to create an impact in the lives of your customers and your clients, right? Is there a scary side to it in your mind?
Scary side, yeah. The scary side, as said, people definitely are going very lazy. They are just enjoying their lives. They are not seeing the dark side that is coming up, because it was the same thing when actually calculator and computer came.
Right,
Every accountant had a trouble that what will happen,
right.
because there is no accounting, or the software will do it. But if they know how to use the calculator, their job is secured, they have skilled up. They know how to use the computer, they are still
True.
secured. They know how to skill up and do 10 companies task in just one day. Earlier they were doing one company's task in 30 days, they are doing 10 companies task in just one day. So that's kind of leveling up and giving up a big shot.
Got it.
Again, AI has to be a catalyst in your life, that you skill up and do big things. The production has to
So,
be
right,
very
I
very
think
high.
I think great example of it. So, I mean, what you're saying is that if there is a calculator, or when we started learning computers, similarly, I think we need to know, or we need to learn in terms of how is it that we make AI work for us rather than the
Yes,
other way around.
yes, and if we don't follow that, definitely there's a dark side to it. The other dark side to it is definitely crime, cyber crime is going to be more, because again they will also have access to AI. And this is a field, because believe it or not, or maybe everyone agrees to it, there is crime, there will be crime, and there needs to be a mitigation for all these things. And with the increase of tech, the increase in all these fraudery and all cyber issues
True,
that we are
true. I
hearing,
agree.
it has to go high, and we need to
Absolutely.
be ready. And again, if we are not ready because we are lazy, it's going to hit us hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So true. Great. I think while we are on the subject of AI, I'm sure that everyone would love to understand the how Orbo came to be, right? What is it that Orbo does? I think that let's start from there.
So Orbo gives experiences to customers of retailers and brands working in the beauty and personal care industry. So let it be any brand or any retailer, the customer has been coming to them and having the same kind of experience for the last 50 years.
Right.
A person is coming to the mall, she's telling, okay, I need a red lipstick or a maroon shade, I want a darker one, I want a lighter one, maybe a foundation to match my skin tone. Then the person is actually applying it on the face. Ma'am, is it looking good? Oh no, just remove it, let's try a different one.
Right.
And this has been the general life of any sales in the industry. And again, there is something called a salesy fashion. Ma'am, this would actually work better with you.
Right.
Why don't you go for this? Why don't you go for that? Without any knowledge, or maybe without any idea of the need the customer has, people were actually pushing the sales. Now, we found this problem. How did we find this problem? That's an again an interesting story.
Right.
So back in 2016, 17, 18, 19 era, it was a time where IPL was very booming.
Right.
Facebook, that was really on the peak that time.
Right.
Everyone was on Facebook and pushing images. Social media was just blooming in all ways. And we realized that people are actually making some kind of a symbol of the brand, or maybe a symbol of the country's flag, or symbol of the IPL team, something of that sort on their face, and then posting it.
Right.
So we tried to replicate via AI that can we do it on images, and definitely they are posting on social media. Anyone sitting at the home can actually have that experience, that they had gone to the match, they painted it, got it done by an artist, and then posting it
Right.
at no cost. So we realized we made that tech. And suddenly I thought that why not apply on the lips, because West Indies have them a lot
Right.
on the lips. You must have seen yellows and various bright colors, or maybe the flag on their lips. So I just tried out. I was just in the research lab and trying it out, and I realized, dude, this looks like a lipstick. And I figured out, okay, let's play with it. I did some kind of interesting tech kind of experiments with that, and it genuinely looked like a lipstick. The textures were there, and the beauty was all there. And then we realized this point, which I explained earlier, that the industry has not changed. And then thought that why not go into it? This is the perfect time because the industry has never seen that change. Let's bring that change. Let's tap the industry right now. And that's how Orbo was born in the beauty industry.
Got it.
Followed by the skin, the salon, and beauty GPT, as everyone knows.
Amazing. And so, future Orbo, right? You've already made a start. So, is there what's the overall vision, Abhit? I mean, what do you see Orbo doing for people more and more, say in the next 5 years and 10 years, and what's the is there a vision for say the next 5 years?
Yes, yes. So Orbo is a B2B company. We do not face the client in a very candid way. So
Right.
no client is actually knowing that they are using the tech, but that's Orbo, because there's a layer of the client in front of us. The Nikas of the world or Shopper Stops of the world, they give that tech to their customers. So the customer does not know that this is Orbo or maybe X company or Y company. But the vision is very simple, that if you are interacting with any service that is digital, buying a beauty product or personal care product, or having yourself decorated in any way, let it be hairstyles or makeup or hair coloring, so you need to just pass through Orbo's layer, maybe in a very, very invisible way, but you have to cross it to shake hands with anything. So that's the complete vision, and it has
Wonderful.
to be so involving and so candid that the
Right.
customer does not feel the hindrance in doing anything for that matter.
Right.
Again, I was just telling you the foundation thing. In fact, I'll just share a story with you. This
Sure.
this was a personal experience in Ambience Mall in Gurgaon.
Right.
So I'd gone for a demo. I'll just not name the brand, but there was a store. I went with my magic mirror. It's a hardware where you can use the tech
Right.
live, and I placed it out there. I was showing it to the team, and how does it work and what it can do. And suddenly a couple actually comes in the store, and they were really excited to see the device out there in the store, and they asked us that why not we try it, can we try it or not, we have not seen something of this sort. So I just said, please, go on, you can try. And the husband wife were actually having a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
The husband was totally not into skincare, and the wife was pushing, I use this, why you don't use this. And a general husband wife chit chat, you don't know anything in skin, you don't agree to me, okay, let me try it out. So the wife was actually seeing the mirror and seeing the skin analysis done live, and she got validated, this is the regime I use, this is definitely the regime. The husband was shocked that, dude, she's using it, I'm telling the same thing, it means there is some logic behind it. The husband came in front, I'll also
Wow.
try.
Okay.
He tried, and believe me on this, the person was totally not into skin. He said, I'll not spend the money, but after trying, he actually booked skincare products worth 5,500.
Awesome.
That was a big testimony that people are actually needing it. I did not do any sales. There was a logic. The person actually needed help. And when there is a need, the person will pay.
So basically, what you're saying is that using your magic mirror, uh, both these individuals were able to figure out what they need. Wow, in terms of skincare. Now, obviously, I think that our blind trust in technology, right? So rather than trusting another human being, again, as you said, right? So when you go to a mall, or when you used to, even now, I suppose most of the malls that you go to, you would find a salesperson trying to pitch the product to you in a way where they're making recommendations and telling you that this is what you should use and this is what you shouldn't use, but they seldom tell you that you shouldn't use this. They always tell you कि अच्छा,
Yes.
सब कुछ ही use कर लीजिए. So using Orbo, now they are able to find a more objective way of looking at products. Is that what Orbo is doing? I mean, without any sort of a personal motive, or it's just kind of telling you the best possible alternative to the current reality. Is that
Correct.
what is
Correct. So we are trying to pitch many things at the same time. What we are doing is, I'll just tell you the business aspect of it. When the person is trying out various products at the store, the brand is saving on try on costs.
right?
All those lipsticks, eyeshadows, they come in try on packs.
True.
They are saving operational cost out there. The second thing is that the time that is being spent by the person, by the customer in the store, is very important. If you spend 15 minutes just applying for the shades of foundation, 2 3, in fact it's very difficult to have 3 foundations in 15 minutes when the salesperson is selling it. It becomes almost maximum times. What happens is that the person is not buying it.
Right.
When you are just sliding few foundations on the screen, and you just pick up, okay, in just 1 or 2 minutes, this is the foundation that matches me, and the person validates in sense, then there comes the human intervention and the tech being involved. And I said, we are not going to replace humans. This is the tech saying that this is required.
Just making things
You
more
are
efficient.
agreeing, and the salesperson now pitches in, ma'am, this is the shade that is actually working for you, and I have a shade in the mini and the bigger one, and I can give you an offer. There the sales comes in, and the sales for those brands goes up. The third example, for example, if you have a flaky skin, and I say, Saugat, I think you should have a moisturizer of X brand, and I'm not a dermat. I am a newbie. Maybe I don't even use skincare products. I'm
Right.
just telling you, okay, maybe you can use that. You are thinking, okay, the Abhit is actually having some kind of knowledge, and this is a good brand, and this will work out. But it does not work out. Now, what would you say? No, you will not say that Abhit gave a wrong recommendation. You will say brand X moisturizer is one of the worst products I have used. But was it the worst product? No, it was not meant for the need. I misled you. So when I misled you and the brand is facing some kind of reputation loss, then this is not in the good way for anyone.
True.
When I say through my AI or the tech that I have, that you need a sunscreen, you need a moisturizer and a night cream, and then you see the effect,
Right.
then you will say,
Right.
dude, this brand was very good. It worked out. Now, the brand had meant to be working with X, Y, Z products in sync at this time for this issue. If you do it, definitely it will work. If you don't do it in that way, it will not work in any way.
Absolutely. True. Wow. This sounds actually very cool. I think I mean, I know that these magic mirrors are there in our office as well, but I think I must try one of these. Soon, very soon. How did the name Orbo come up? Why Orbo?
Yeah.
Right. It has a very AI feel to it, like
Okay.
Orbo, right? It's like Jadoo from that movie, or E.T., right?
Yeah.
So how did the name Orbo come to be?
So the reason was not that dramatic or that fancy, I would say. So my other co-founder, he actually went to his guru, his mentor, and he said, we are opening a company, and we want to do something of this sort, which is into AI and various things that will be automated, will create that wow effect. And AI was not the word, so he could not understand. So, okay, what are you going to do? Is it really something? Because robotics was very fancy back then,
Right.
in 2010ish to 15ish era. So he said, is it something related to robots? Because robots do something on their own. They predict, they do something like a Terminator movie or kind of thing. Like, yeah, something of that sort you can imagine. So he said, let's take robo out of robotic and just replace ONR.
Okay.
And that's how Orbo was born.
So instead of Robo, it became Orbo.
Orbo. And fortunately, orb means a sphere,
Right.
which surrounds everything.
Right.
And as I said, the vision is to have a sphere around the world of beauty and personal care, where the customer, when wants anything, it has to just pass our orb.
So Abid, what's your advice to a lot of youngsters who are looking at artificial intelligence as, with wide-eyed amazement, trying to make sense of it, trying to understand whether they should or should not consider that as a bigger part of their dreams and aspirations for the years to come. How would you advise these youngsters, and a lot of people, even to someone like me, right? I mean, I have just started using AI, and I suppose my only knowledge with AI is limited to a chat gpt and copilot and Gemini, right? So what's your advice to youngsters?
So, my advice would be to learn how to use the various AI tools that are coming up. Like you said, you're using chat gpt. Everyone in the world, I think, they have gone to a level that they are now using chat gpt for at least the basic works that they have. So they are cutting out on redundant things and saving out time.
Right.
Now we need to step up. What are the daily chores that we have in when it comes to our professional life, or maybe the digital life that we all are living? The first one being, we need to make presentations. Maybe we need to have some excels in place where we are doing some kind of calculation or monthly expense report or xyz. All those things, they need to be brought down to a level that you can just make it in 15 minutes. So that's the kind of inclination everyone, let it be a student, let it be a professional in the early 30s, or maybe a senior manager in the 40s or 50s, they need to get into the hack that you need to have various things in place with the AI stack I use. That's the kind of new thing I would like to hear from someone. This is the AI stack I use. What is yours? So
True.
that will
True.
make a big impact, because at the end of the day, you need to just have something as a helper so that you can use your time to skill up on something else. Now everyone would actually become a manager. So see this in a way that there's a person getting into a tech world with an internship, then going to SDE level, doing some engineering, and then upgrading themselves to a team lead, and then a manager, and then probably the VP or the director to XYZ level. Now you consider that AI has actually put you up from that internship level to SDE level in the starting itself. The SDE person from SDE to a manager level
Right.
from the from the current date. You have cursor AI. You can code using that. You have various things automated. You can do image editing, video content creation, and whatnot with AI. You need to just get into the hack that how can you make your life easy, at the same time make your life tough with changing the milestone to the next level. So yes, that is the key, I think, for everyone, because this is a new life that we are all seeing, and it's a new era.
True. True. I think, and especially for youngsters, and I do, I think in both of our professions, because I run an HR consulting company, I come across a lot of freshers, youngsters who have this question, right? So, Saugat, should I learn AI? Should I try and get into AI as a career option, right? I possibly don't always have all the right answers, and I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
In fact, AI as a career option is again one of the things that they will have to look upon it, because and this the only thing that getting into the AI world is not important. Getting into which domain of AI will now become very important. Is it natural text? Is it video? Is it audio? Is it presentation? Is it which domain that you're working in? Is it agri? Is it fintech? You need to have the base knowledge ready in your head and then build AI on top of it. So
Got it.
base
Got it.
layer has to be very strong.
Understood. Got it. I think yes. So we have spoken about AI, I think, and quite a bit, Abhit, and I think I'm going to take back a lot of learnings from on my own as well. Moving away and coming back to maybe something a little more basic. How do you find the balance between mindfulness and mayhem? I think what AI is doing, and I think something that people are going to find more and more, right, as our lives become more and more en- entwined with artificial intelligence, and as it starts doing more and more of those routine tasks, how are we utilizing our own capabilities and bandwidth to do what, right? I think that's going to be the next question that will possibly come up very soon. If it, I'm sure it's already started cropping up in a lot of.
I am very curious to see this change when people have time for themselves and they are using it. What next?
Exactly. So, how do you find a balance between mindfulness and mayhem?
Okay, that's very interesting right now because I am doing job of making this a reality. So my time goes completely into how can I just automate things to a level where people can find it very interesting, very enjoyment, create that wow effect, and still have time for themselves. Because over the time, what I have realized earlier, there used to be a metric called the retention rate in the websites. That used to be the basic metric. If someone is staying a longer time on their website, it means that the probability of buying or going through a sales process is higher.
Right,
Now the things are very changed.
right.
The longer the person is there on your website, it means it's harder to find a product that he has come up for, or harder it is to find a content he has come up for. If you cannot satisfy the client in the next 2 minutes, then I think you have lost the game.
Wow. Okay, all right. That's such an interesting way of looking at it, right?
So I think for me that it's a problem that I need to be head full of various problem statements, and kind of that is the heavier side for me right now. Maybe later that I'll have a balance on both ends.
So, and I think that reminds me of it. You call yourself, besides your other job titles, right? You are a co-founder and you are the chief technology officer. I also saw somewhere, you having written that you are the chief hustler at Orbo. So I think this is also one more word that is used a lot. In fact, it's becoming, if it hasn't already, it's fast becoming one of those cliched words in terms of the word hustle, right? And I think I want someone like you to maybe draw attention to what it actually means. What is hustle to you?
So hustle is basically uh, I need to find ways to solve problems. I need to find ways where things can be made reality.
Right,
And
right.
hustle is a journey. Hustle is a journey of doing all these things, pushing yourselves, pushing the limits, and then finding a way to find the impossible and make it a reality. So I think that is what hustle means to me. And enjoy this whole process. Hustle does not mean you need to be depressed. Hustle is a very enjoying journey where you just push the limits, making the impossible in your hands.
Very, very well said. I think hustle is a journey. Yes, absolutely. I think it's a word that I keep hearing so much now, and everywhere, right? I've been associated with the startup industry for a few years now, and I think the one word that everyone likes to use at every given opportunity is, let's hustle, right? So I think I wanted to get some context from you in terms of what hustle means to you. I think now that you've talked about hustle being a journey, what does success mean to you?
Success, that's very interesting to me. Believe me that you just hit the right nail. Success for me is every day doing something better than yesterday.
Awesome,
Every
wonderful.
success is not something the global success that everyone actually meets. A child would actually think that I need to clear IIT, I need to get into Oxfords of the world, I need to get Harvards of the world. Maybe a engineer or a manager would think that I need to become the VP, director of technology, or maybe CEO. That's, I think, the vision and the goal in a very global aspect, in a long term chain. But I think success should be broken down into small parts, something that is achievable. You have to wait 20 years down the line to become a CEO of a very big company. And is it possible or not? No one knows. You will live for the next 20 years? No one knows. How do you have the flavor of success? Flavor of success will come when the next day you have something that can be achieved. And when you achieve it, that gives you happiness. Then other day, then you just go back, think again, what is the next success story I need to build tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow night, when you are just recalibrating your brain and thinking, was it a successful day? Maybe not.
True. True.
Maybe not. And but that maybe not thing will actually give you the confidence. Okay, I missed on these things. Let's hustle again and do it tomorrow, because that is achievable, that is local, that is so much feasible. And that gives you the whole confidence of pushing your limits to the next level. So success is again a part of the journey. It's not the end goal. Success does not give happiness. It's the journey that gives happiness. And when you put in success at every step, then you just taste the flavor of success and be happy.
True. True. Absolutely. Absolutely. You couldn't be more right. Abhit, you are with me, and you are with us on the Real Verses with Saugat, right? So I think that's what I've named the my podcast. If life were a verse, right, that you're living right now, what would you call it? What would be the name of the verse that you're living right now?
The name of the verse, that's very interesting. uh, the name of the verse that I'm living right now would be, what should I say? That's very interesting. You just got me there. um, a very enjoyable, I would say, as an enjoyable life for being a human. Because I think these two words I just want to keep attached to me. That never forget that we are all humans. There's nothing different in you and me or maybe anyone else. And the second thing, if we are here for a lifetime, let's enjoy every moment of it, because this is going to end at some point.
True. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. Wonderful, Abhit. Is there a belief? I mean, of all the core beliefs that you have as a person, as an individual, is there one of those that you hold very dear, something that you hope never changes, come what may? What is that one core belief?
That never changes.
Hmm.
Okay. We should just be kind to everyone. That's something very very dear to me. That let's all treat each other as equal. There's a big debate, girls equal to boys, and corporate phenomena and
Right.
XYZ.
Absolutely.
But at the core, everyone needs to share thoughts, everyone needs to share their perspective. Again, a person who is in the city, a child who is in the city will say that I am living on the 14th floor. A child who is in some village would actually say I am living in a hut.
Right.
But when these two people talk to each other, they need to trust each other. That's the kind of faith and belief and hope that I carry with me, that you need to trust and not show a different, a wrong story or bad side of it, because then only each and every one of us evolves. A
True.
person in the hut has to believe there is a 14th floor possible, and the person on the 14th floor has to believe that people are still living in huts, which is a different kind of material, or it's not concrete house.
True.
And
True.
both sides is actually the reality. So we should be open enough to get everything inside us.
So I think what you're saying is openness and kindness and trust. I- it's so interesting. And just to add here a bit, something that I keep coming across, and I'm sure that you do as well. I see this word being used a lot, that whoever you are, be kind. And I am thinking to myself, isn't that what we are supposed to be anyway? Why does someone need to talk about it, right? That's supposed to be one of the core, constructs of who we are as human
Yes,
beings.
yes,
Yeah, and the difference in terms of why I am a human being versus why am I not an animal, right?
yes.
Or any other living being for that matter. And yes, you're right. I mean, I think, but I completely understand, and I think I relate with what you're saying. If
Because at the end of the day, Swagat, back in the mind, we all know we have not touched the level of kindness. We have not touched the level of trust. We have not touched the level of openness. Maybe due to circumstances, maybe because the culture has been grown that way. The situation is that way. We cannot be so true to run the life for according to that. But definitely, we can at least improve and
Absolutely.
share with people around us that let's make it better.
I say amen to that, and I really hope that what you're saying actually becomes the way of the world, and the way we live in the times and the years to come. Amazing, Abid. Before I let you go, I think I have one last question. If there's one part of this conversation that you want everyone to stay with, or that you want to uh, leave everyone with in terms of a thought, or in terms of some part of you, what would that be? If someone were to take anything out from this conversation that you and I had, an amazing one, what would that be?
I think two,
Okay.
not just one, but two. Become more human that you are. Try to become more human every day. And the second one, because everyone likes to be successful, taste success every day. Be happy every day. These are the few things that is going to make your life very easy. Once you have the habit of being happy, taste success, and being more human, you just follow it for a week and you will see the change. So that's the only thing that I think I should share, that please make that a difference if possible.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Abhit. I think it has been, and trust me, I did not anticipate this to become such an enjoyable conversation that it actually did. And I am truly, truly grateful that you took out time and you came here. And I think I'm more grateful for the fact that I found you to be absolutely yourself. And I think I did not feel that there was an attempt or an effort to try and say something that would sound good, and but which may or may not be an intrinsic part of you. It's been an absolute pleasure, an absolute hoot to have you here with me, and I'm sure that everyone watching this is going to have a whale of a time. Thank you so much, and wish you all the very success for being a very humane co-founder, something that I think the world needs more and more. And I think a lot of startup founders could do so well if they, even if half of them started thinking like you, and being like you, and in terms of being more kind, being more inclusive, being more open, being more trusting. I think these are some of the keywords that I am taking away from this conversation, and I hope that others do as well. Thank you so much, Abhit. Wonderful to have you.
Thank you, Saugat. I think I had more pleasure than you, and it was very much interesting having this such kind of a conversation, because you yourself are so much into all these things, and I have learned a lot from you in the past as well as this conversation. And yeah, thank you for having me here, and all the very best for
Thank you
everything.
so much. Thank you, Abhit. Thank you.